I'm at the hospital right now again. Just wipe out my eyes. Yeah, I'm at the hospital again. My mom is here. Um, this is my shift today. Yeah, to be here with mommy, make sure that everything is running smoothly. Yeah. For those who don't know, my mother has been hospitalized. She's been here for almost a week now. We can say a week. And it just got me here thinking like about life and such. You know, I look at my eyes, kind of tired. I'm not really getting much sleep of late since this happened. But you know how it is. Mom is in the hospital, so we the children have to do there for as family. I'm gonna say this again. Shout out to everybody who has been sending good words of encouragement, staying positive, support, and showing us all the love at this time. Yeah, mommy is our surviving parent. Our father died in 2008. Mommy is here 2025, still fighting, still hanging on. But the reason why I did this live is because this is something that I truly believe in for years now, based on my experience in life. And I had to put it out there to ask people because I know this is gonna have like mixed feelings and different opinions this topic, but can you really can you really control your destiny? That's the question. That's the helicopter lifting off the hospital. Okay, it's a little bit clear now, but can we really control our destiny? That is the question. I used to believe we could. As a matter of fact, I believe that in some way we can steer it, but I don't believe that we can actually control our destiny. First of all, every human's destiny is to live on this earth and then die. And no one can stop the end result of that. So that in itself is proof that we can't really steer with destiny. My belief is everyone that is born, the road that they travel is already set for them. And there are different ways of getting there. And what we can do is actually delay the process or speed it up. But I think what is to be will be. The reason why I say this, alright, there is this Jamaican artist and she died a few years ago from a car crash. And the day that she died, people were saying that they told her not to drive and through all of this, but she just say, oh, she wanna drive. They also told her like, when she was choosing the direction for her life to be a singer, that's all she wanted to do, sing, 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 sing. The name of that artist for those people is J Capri. But yeah, they always say from she little all she wanted to do is sing, 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 sing. And she actually started to make it in Jamaica. and she started to do well. And the first car she got, I think it was a nice Benz or something like that, Mercedes. And it so happened that that's how she died, in the Mercedes. So the reason why I say that, because this may be a little vague, but the reason why I say that is sometimes in life we are motivated to do certain things, right? She loved being a singer, she loved all these things, but sometimes that passion and that drive for whatever you're talking about is the reason why and how you meet your demise. Let me put it another way. I believe that if you're supposed to have 3 kids, or 2 kids, or even one, that's what you will have, whether you want to or not. Because I know about situations where people say they want to have one child, and along the way, they do all kind of things to make sure that it's just one child them have. Sometimes, they will take the pill or whatever measures to make sure that, it's just one child them have. But you see, if you're supposed to have 3, all you're doing is slowing the process, because eventually, and my friend always said this is coming like Final Destination, but eventually something will happen, whether it's an accident or not, that your destiny will happen. You can delay it, as I said before, but I don't believe it can change, because whatever is your drive, there's going to be a situation where people are telling you, yo, if you don't want to do this, if you don't want this to happen, then don't do this. And if that's the way that you're going to die, or that's the way how your destiny is going to come through, no matter how you try, you're going to be still doing that same thing. Because it's not like, it's almost like you're not thinking clearly. You're thinking clearly, and you're intelligent, and you understand what you're doing, but for some reason, there's a bigger plan in your head why you feel like you need to get this done. And oftentimes, that's how it works. You don't know why you have this push. Everything that people saying to you sometimes sound like it don't make any sense, because that's where you're supposed to go. That's where you're supposed to head. And you feel like you're doing the right thing. Maybe in other circumstances, if you saw somebody else doing that, you might have even say, that person is crazy for doing that. But because you're in this situation, this is what you should do, it makes sense to you, because you're going to where your destiny lies. The reason why I come up with this, because there's a little thing, even with how my mom got the heart attack.
Hi. Medications for her, and I'm going to draw a lap.
Okay. Yeah, she was in touch with someone that, we kept on saying to her, like, maybe you need to stop interacting with this person, because we found the person to be negative in some way. But she kept on interacting with the person, for whatever reason that was. No matter how we brought like the facts to her, what we were saying wouldn't stop her from interacting with the person until whatever reason, whether she wanted to prove that we were wrong or whatever the drive was, that was the case. The person in itself and the whole situation turned out to be negative. But I believe that in every negative situation, there can be a positive. Because on that day when she got the heart attack, I wasn't home. She was there. I went on the road to run some errands. And she was speaking to the person. And based on the conversation that she had with the person, that's how she went on the road to do something. And then she felt like weak, sat at the bus stop, by the bus stop near to the house right there, and was, to catch her breath. There was a seat there, and she sat there. And that's when it happened. No. When I found out, I was kind of upset that she left out to do whatever she went out to do. But when it happened, somebody saw and called the ambulance and they came and whatever. No, you can look at it as however you want to look at it. But really and truly, if she didn't leave out, she more than likely would have been at home by herself and no one would have heard or maybe even known that she was having a heart attack. So my point is sometimes we don't know the direction that's going to happen. And sometimes we feel like we are in control of our destiny and we feel like we know what we're doing. But there's always a greater plan somewhere. And that negative person that I'm speaking about, the interaction that was happening led to the point where she was leaving out and someone would help her. So sometimes we think we can plan everything and we have everything under control, but everything falls into place where it's supposed to be. All we have to do is remain consistent in what we believe in. Right? I believe there's more than one ways to get to the goal. Sometimes even in a career situation, you may be saying, oh, I want to be the biggest artist or I want to do this. And you're focusing on singing songs and putting it out there and it's not working. That doesn't mean that it's not going to work, but maybe that's not the avenue that's going to make it work for you. So all you have to do is remain consistent. Once you remain consistent, opportunity will come in any way, shape, or form to lead you to your destiny. I believe that a lot of times we see people not reaching their destiny and say, oh, this man do this and him doing which, because a lot of our goals and destiny is based on financial gain. So when we see people either not doing what we feel they should be doing, that doesn't mean they're not successful. Maybe they're successful in their own way because that's what life intended for them and that's what made them happy. You cannot measure success and stuff like that with material things and money or achievements. Sometimes the biggest achievement is to be alive, healthy, family, and stuff like that. So I just thought about that and I said I had to share it because sometimes we feel we control the destiny and we don't. Or if we even control it, as I said, it's like basically steering it a certain way but we don't have full control of it. People say, oh, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to eat right, and I'm going to do all these things. And there are many people who do that and still get sick. People say, I'm not going to eat, I'm going to stick to a certain diet. And the person that not sticking to that diet end up living longer or more healthy in a sense. So if you really believe that you can control your life, um, I leave that on you. But the evidence is clear that you can't. I really think you can't. Just do what you like, do what you love, and just live happy. That's all I'm saying. Believe me now.